How's it going, guys? My name is Theo and I am back, risen from the dead, to bring you some amazing stories and anecdotes about life in Korea. For those of you who don't know, which I guess is most of you, me, Ida and Silvia, we all went back to Sweden and we all went back to our respective hometowns. Whilst Ida and Silvia have been filming videos together when they were back in their hometown, because they live in the same hometown. I have been kind of missing in action the last couple of months because I don't live remotely close to them. But now I'm back to bring you some amazing, marvelous content from the floor of my mother's house. So today I'm gonna talk a little bit about the weather and the climate in Korea during summertime and the problems I faced because of it. Because when I first went to Korea back in the summer of 2014, I had no clue about how the weather or climate was gonna be like. I guess I figured it was gonna be very similar to Swedish weather. Boy, was I wrong. The weather in Korea during the summer is hot and humid as fuck. And I've always been a big sweater. I've always been sweating quite a lot in my life. I guess it's my poor genetics. So even when I lived in Sweden, I always sweated a lot, even though it wasn't that hot. So when I went to Korea, sweat was just coming out everywhere over my body, every day, all day, basically. And it was horrible. What happened was, within just a couple of weeks, I had to throw away all of my shirts one by one after wearing them for like 2-3 times. They would just soak in sweat, and even though you can wash them, the fabric eventually gets kind of ruined, I guess. So what I did was I basically threw them away and I bought new stuff in Korea. But obviously I couldn't just keep on buying new shirts and then just throwing them away constantly. So I googled my problem to see if there was any good solutions, and what I found was this bottle of awesome magicness, which I bought off of Amazon. And it's basically a super deodorant, I guess. It will just shut down your sweat glands for, well, it says 72 hours. But in my experience, when you start using this, even though you don't use it for maybe 2 weeks, it will still work. Your body kind of learns that it shouldn't be sweating anymore, kind of. It's weird. But what you do is you apply this every 3 or 4 days. I do it before bed, and you will not sweat a single drop from your armpits. It's amazing. In the beginning, when I started using it, my armpits would get very irritated. They would get red and they would hurt a bit. But the more I used it, the side effects disappeared, and these days I get none of them and it still works amazingly. So highly recommend this. They also last forever. I bought a pack of 3 of them back in 2014, and this is the second bottle and it's almost full. So they last absolutely forever. One of the greatest purchases I've ever done in my entire life. So let's keep on talking about deodorants in Korea, because as a lot of foreigners in Korea have discovered, it is very hard to actually find deodorants in Korea in general, like normal deodorants. I find this very fascinating because in the beginning I would be like, why can't you buy deodorants in this fucking country? And what I realized after a while is that Korean people in general don't really sweat that much. I know it might sound weird, but I started like looking at people in the subway and on the streets and whatever, and they would wear like these suits and super hot clothes in the middle of summer when the weather is so hot, but they still, did you hear my Facebook messages? They still wouldn't sweat at all. So I decided to, Google a bit and see if I could find the answer for this. And apparently, I'm not gonna say this is 100% true, but according to my amazing Googling skills, a big majority of Asian people, like, they lack a certain gene that makes you sweat in the armpit or whatever. Because they lack this specific gene, they don't sweat as much as white people or black people or whatever. So for that same reason, I guess, they don't sell deodorants either. With a few exceptions, like in the middle of summer, like in June and July, you can find a couple of deodorants, like a roll-on deodorants, in some of the biggest, you know, cosmetic stores like Olive Young or what's it called? Watson's. If you are lucky, you can find deodorants in these specific stores, but only a couple of months of the year in the summer, because that is apparently the only time of the year when the Koreans will use deodorants. In the winter or in the fall or spring, it is absolutely hopeless to try to find deodorants in Korea. So what I would do is I would just buy like 4 or 5 of them back in Sweden before I went to Korea, and I would bring them there. And I guess if you are going to Korea, this is something you might want to consider as well, if you feel like your life depends on having that deodorant, right? So eventually, even though Korean summer still has me sweating like a pig when I'm there, I managed to get around this specific problem by using this certain dry super deodorant. The smell is... I got some on my lip. It doesn't smell that much actually. It smells a lot like my armpit, I guess. It's kind of odorless, and I don't know what's in it, and I don't want to know. It's magic, I guess. So to finish this video, I just want to apologize for the poor audio quality of this video. It is filmed on my phone, which isn't that great, and I am, as I said, I'm sitting on the floor at the moment just because I wanted this white wall in the background. Let me know in the comment section below if I should be crucified for this shitty video quality, or if you can accept me the way things are right now. And let me know if you missed me. I guess everyone missed me so much. I'm so lonely. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, everything, you know, donate to my Patreon. You will see my Patreon over here. Buy my audiobook, and this video is sponsored by audible.com. Crunchyroll.com are my main sponsors. They give me lots of money to say these things. I'm also sponsored by Calvin Klein. Get much money from them. Bye.
And finally, I headed back home to get some much needed sleep. The end.